What was the dumbest thing you ever did to try and impress a girl or guy? I was in New Zealand, was going to a beach party with some girls from the hostel I was staying at. To get to a party, you needed to take a $2 ferry across this inlet, which was about 1 kilometer wide. I decided to swim it to impress the ladies. About halfway through, I realized that I'm slowly being swept out to sea and I'm losing strength. I'm not sure how, but eventually I made it back to the shore, about 100 meters away from the pier. The ferry had docked about 2 to 3 minutes before me, and I just nonchalantly walked over to meet the girls, as if I hadn't swum against a current to near exhaustion and was swept out to sea. Good side, it worked, and I ended up hooking up with one of the ladies. Bad side, the $2 was for a round trip, and I still had to pay $2 to get back once the party was over. I tried to do a backflip. I've never actually done a backflip before, not even on a trampoline. I actually would just jump backwards and hit my head hella hard on the ground, and then I woke up and threw up a bunch. If she ever had a thing for me, which all my friends said she did, it was gone that day. Edit. For everyone worried, I did wind up going to a doctor. He said I was an idiot, but that it was a minor concussion and not to worry unless more symptoms started happening, which they didn't. I was abroad in Dominican Republic. They had a dance competition on a stage. Anyone could enter, and it had around 200 people watching. I was about 9 to 10-ish and spotted a cute girl who must have been around 14 to 15. So obviously, I decided the best way to get her attention was to get up on stage and dance my heart out. Cue 3 minutes of awkward shuffling while maintaining constant eye contact with that girl and horrified, queasy looks from my parents. The coordinator cut me off early by pretending the speaker stopped working. I got a pity clap. When I was a teen, I took Taekwondo classes, and there were 2 beautiful girls around my age. They liked to go and have a smoke behind the mall before class, and I wanted to be cool and impress them, so I took up smoking too. It was about 2 weeks in when one girl came to class early, so I went and had a smoke with her. The next girl came in and wanted to have a smoke, so I went and had another one with her. When we came back, we started doing our warm-up labs, and I felt very queasy. I had to throw up, so I ran outside, right next to the Dairy Queen. I threw up all over the glass wall where the cashiers and several people eating looked on in horror. On a 4th of July date, after going out to dinner, I took her out on the lake in a canoe to watch the fireworks. It was awesome. Young, macho me, of course, turned down her offer of help with a large canoe, and I manhandled that thing like it was nothing. Put her in it while it was on the grass and continued manhandling it to show off just how strong I was. The next morning, I had to call in to work sick because my back muscles were so strained I couldn't get out of bed. My back was sore for over a week. Edit, did it work? Don't kiss and tell is a good rule to live by. It allows respect for those you date and yourself. Tried to razor scooter down the steepest hill around. Crashed into the back of a funeral hearse and shattered the back window. There was a body inside, and the family was outside waiting to either go to the cemetery or take the coffin inside. I got up, covered in blood and glass, grabbed my scooter and hobbled away to the nearest alleyway. Started smoking. Wanted to look cool and have an excuse to talk to her. It worked, but we only dated for a couple of months. Biggest mistake of my life. I made sure I was the one to return her jacket when she forgot it at school. When I gave it back to her the next morning, she blamed me for stealing it. We didn't end up together. The guy I was seeing went on vacation with his family for 2 weeks, and I had the key to his place to feed his cat. While he was gone, I painted his bathroom. He thought it was weird, but seemed mostly okay with it. But it worked. He married me in October. Not really dumb, but kind of funny to look back on now. I wasn't good at sports, but I was fairly quick, so I joined the track team to impress a girl. Turns out the girl wasn't impressed by runners, but I did end up going to state in the 100-meter dash and placing second. Edit, I also ended up getting a scholarship for track, so it was sort of a win, I guess. I just realized my entire school choice/career path has been a result of trying to impress a girl. Edit 2. For those asking, my best time in the 100-meter was 10.81. Learn how to rap Crack a Bottle by Eminem. When I showed him I could, he only knew the clean version and I knew the actual dirty version. How was this delivered? Did you just go up to him and start rapping at him, or did you wait for an opportunity? I can't imagine what this kind of opportunity looks like. Came and picked me up, he played it because it's his favorite song. That's how I was able to show him. I don't think he even told me or looked impressed, LOL. Kept telling me I was saying the wrong lyrics when it was supposed to be the clean version. When I was 15, I dropped a heavy book on my head. It was this old dictionary, a single volume that was easily 8 inches thick and probably weighed 15 pounds. I laid down on the floor, held it over my head with my arms fully extended, and dropped it 1.5 feet right onto my forehead. I guess I thought I would show how tough I was. I was not tough. It sort of worked because I dated her until freshman year of college, but that was likely in spite of my actions and not because of them. Taking up smoking in high school, didn't get the guy, and it took 15 years for me to quit smoking. Haven't been a smoker for almost 7 years now. Quitting smoking was one of the hardest things I have done. I've posted this before, but still funny to me. Dating a gymnast in high school. We go to a park and I see parallel bars that are designed for stretching, but I'm convinced I can do a handstand on them because I'm awesome. She keeps insisting that they are too far apart, but I don't listen. Attempt said handstand. They were indeed too far apart, so I collapsed down, jamming my chest past my hands and tear all the ligaments holding my chest muscles to my breastbone. Good times were not had later or for a long while after. I was alone in a park in front of my house. I was standing by the monkey bars just fooling around. I was around 10 at the time. I see a group of around 5 girls cycling towards me, all about 16 years old. Thinking I can impress them, I jump on the monkey bar, still looking at them to show off. Turns out, completely missed the bars, fell from a 6-foot wooden playground flat on the face. Teeth through my lip, crying and everything. They ran over, asked me where I lived, and carried me home. They were really sweet about it, but it was pretty embarrassing for me. Embarrassing to admit, but the only time I truly tried to impress a girl was in primary school when I was about 10 or 11. I would swear when she was near and always gave the impression I didn't give an F. Backfired though. She just ended up thinking I had anger and behavioral issues. I actually got one. I was 14, totally fully in love with this girl from my class. Gotta add, we kind of flirted for a whole year but got nowhere. She was the kind of girl who likes attention, so you can imagine how she kept me hooking up, knowing I had no chance. Since it was getting close to Valentine's Day, I decided I was going to impress her and make her mine by learning how to play guitar and all of her favorite songs. A whole week practicing like a madman and actually learned 2 songs I knew she loved. So fully prepared and convinced I'd hit the jackpot, on the 14th I go to her house, call her out, telling her I had a surprise. She pops her head out of the door, sees me and my guitar, and nopes the F out of there, telling me to leave. Hey, at least I know how to play a guitar. Took my friend to the driving range and she asked if her insanely hot friend could come as well. Said friend mentioned she's never hit a golf ball before, so I'm thinking jackpot, I've got a way into talking to this girl and an excuse to ask her back out one-on-one if that goes well. Get out to the range, hit a couple of warm-up shots while she's getting her clubs rented and she takes the spot next to me. Decide to really crush this ball to impress her and give the swing everything I've got. Missed the ball and clipped the ground and broke the club right off the pole. It proceeds to bounce back and smack me in the face and give me a solid shiner, all while she's watching. My sophomore year of high school, I asked a girl out on Valentine's Day by having red, pink, and white carnations delivered to her home room. I walked by her home room and my buddy gave me the negative headshake. Already disappointed, she came out and told me she had a boyfriend and asked me if I understood. She kept on repeating, "Do you understand?" repeatedly. In retrospect, I probably had the deer in the headlights look on my face. The worst part was that I was pretty confident about her saying yes and had told all my friends about it. The train ride home that afternoon was pure hell, as my friends razzed me non-stop for the entire ride. In my defense, she had invited me to her birthday party a few weeks before, and her boyfriend wasn't there, and he wasn't brought up at all. So yeah, to say I was gun-shy after that would be a major understatement. Signed up for a French class in high school because a girl I liked was in one. Turns out she was into me too. But my dumbass signed up for French 1 when she was already in it, and the following year she was in French 2 and I was sitting all alone in French 1 in a class I didn't care about. Went to donate blood with a girl. She didn't donate due to iron deficiency. I saved 3 lives. I did find out my blood type, O positive. I still donate to this day. My first serious girlfriend is home alone, and I think this might be the day I get off second base. I'm all of 13, hormone-addled, and obviously confident this girl is the love of my life. It's midsummer and I know I can bike the 3-ish miles pretty quickly. I tell my parents I'm going to see my friend right around the block. They warn me that a thunderstorm is rolling in, and I tell them it takes no time to get there. 10 minutes later, I'm only halfway there, terrified, crying, pedaling as hard as I can to go downhill against the wind. My all-metal framed BMX knockoff Huffy doing its best to not get hit with lightning and fuse me to its shiny silver exterior forever. 30+ minutes after that, I pull into her garage and thank God that all the rain has hid the fact I've been ugly sobbing the entire way. Her parents then pull in as I'm literally hunched over trying to catch my breath. I tell them this was the only house I knew on the street and it would have been life-threatening to bike the rest of the way home in this storm. They smile, probably knowing it was a lie, and treated me to a nice dinner. It ends with a very awkward drive home with her father, my bike in the back of his truck. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, press the like button, and don't forget to watch our other videos.